Hello, this is Mark Satterfield, and welcome to the Velvet Rope Playbook. Tonight's chapter, The Tribe of Wealth, How to Break into the World of the Affluent. There's something nobody tells you when you start working with high net worth clients. They're not just wealthy, they're tribal. They have their own language, their own codes of behavior, their own unspoken rules about who's in and who's just visiting. You've probably felt it before. You walk into a room where the suits are quieter, the laughter is lower, the watches have no logos, and you realize you're not in Kansas anymore. Because the affluent aren't a demographic, they're a culture. And if you want to win their business, you have to understand the tribe and how to earn your place inside it. Quick break. If you're serious about earning trust, commanding premium fees, and becoming a respected figure in the world of the wealthy, go grab a copy of my Amazon #1 best-selling book, Velvet Rope Story Selling, at getwealthyclients.com. It's the guide for consultants, advisors, agents, and high-end service professionals who want to build prestige and break in without begging for access. That's getwealthyclients.com. So how do you get in? Not by advertising, not by chasing, and definitely not by showing up like a guest at someone else's dinner party. The affluent tribe has gatekeepers, but they don't wear name tags. They're the private wealth manager who introduces you to the client, the interior designer who brings you into the circle, the wife of the client who tells the real story when you leave the room. So your job isn't to pitch your way in. Your job is to belong in the story they're already telling themselves. Let me give you an example. There's a stylist in New York, Dev Patel. He doesn't work out of a boutique. He works out of hotel suites, private residences, sometimes yachts. He cracked the code when he realized wealthy men don't want clothes. They want context. Dev doesn't say, "This jacket will elevate your look." He says, "This is the one I used on a guy meeting the crown prince in Dubai. The man walked in a stranger and walked out with 3 contracts." That story? That's not a pitch. That's a passcode. Because now the client isn't just buying the jacket. He's buying access to a story that signals status inside the tribe. So here's the real trick. The affluent don't look for experts as much as they look for mirrors. People who reflect back the values, language, and energy of the circle they already move in. If you don't reflect that, you're out. If you do, you're in, quietly, fully, and permanently. If you're ready to stop standing outside the gates and start building a real, lasting presence in the world of the wealthy, then you need a copy of my newest book, Velvet Rope Story Selling. And you can get yours at getwealthyclients.com. This is not about getting attention. It's about earning access and knowing what to do once you are in. That's getwealthyclients.com. Let me tell you one more story. There's a private chef in Santa Fe, Annalise Ford. She started by cooking for wellness retreats and executive summits, but the way she broke into the ultra-wealthy circle? Not by food, by fitting the narrative. One night, a client's daughter was having a meltdown over the catering. The family was hosting an elite group for an intimate dinner, and the girl wanted a menu inspired by the villa they'd stayed at in Umbria 3 summers ago. Annalise didn't blink. She asked, "Was it near Tuscan?" The girl lit up, "Yes." Annalise said, "I think I know the local cheese guy you're thinking of." The next night, she recreated the menu down to the olive oil sourced from the region. No pitch, no marketing, just a moment that said, "I belong." From that night forward, she didn't cook for the tribe. She became a part of it. That's how it works, not by shouting who you are, but by knowing the right story to step into. If you want to work with the ultra affluent, remember this. They don't ask for resumes. They ask themselves, does this person feel like one of us? Your job is to answer that question before they even ask it. Not with proof, but with presence. Not with persuasion, but with precision. The tribe of wealth is real. It's selective, but it's not closed. And if you understand the rhythm, the rules, and the right story to tell, the doors open quietly, powerfully, permanently. This is Mark Satterfield. Thanks for listening to this chapter of the Velvet Rope Playbook. I'll be back with you soon with more, but until then, bye for now.